Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome William Rickert, co-chair of the Teachers College Board of Trustees.
As co-chairman of the Board of Trustees of Teachers College, along with my colleague Jack Hyland, I have the honor of officially opening today's ceremony. On behalf of the entire TC community, I welcome you to the 2016 Doctoral Hooding Ceremony. It's now my great pleasure to introduce the President of Teachers College, Susan H. Furhman.
Good afternoon. Welcome to a most joyous occasion as we honor the talented women and men who have already achieved so much and are just getting started. First, I wish to recognize a most distinguished guest. He served his country as a member of the Marine Corps and devoted several decades of his life to serving the people of New York City with honor and distinction. Please join me in saluting the Professor of Public Affairs at Columbia University and the 106th Mayor of the City of New York, the Honorable David N. Dinkins. Mr. Mayor. Please join me in congratulating the 2016 doctoral graduates of Teachers College. As I hope you heard the Dean of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences at Columbia say this morning, the doctoral degree is the supreme degree granted by academia. And we are here to celebrate these supreme degree achievers. Let's hear it, graduates, for those, yay. Let's hear it for those who helped you make it to this day. Our outstanding faculty and staff. And let's all show our appreciation to your families, your partners, for their love, encouragement, and support. It's a special thrill to participate in the hooding of our doctoral students because when I received my doctorate at TC, we didn't have a hooding ceremony. And I've always thought that hooding was a particularly powerful image of joining the full-fledged ranks of academia. It's also a joy to see so many children here. By the time I finished my doctorate, I had just given birth to my third. I know what it's like to have that balance to who's gonna come first, the dissertation or the baby. And I know how much that's a part of doctoral students' lives, so we're so pleased to have you all here today. Graduates, you now join the ranks of our doctoral alumni who are leaders in education, psychology, and health. Like them, you now have great power. You have the power to reshape and energize the learning, caring, and research environments where you work. You have the power to produce groundbreaking research, pedagogies, and evidence-based policies and solutions. You have the power to build new bridges of understanding and productive engagement with diverse communities and cultures throughout the world. You have the power to improve performance at your organizations. And you have the power to lead the revolution in educational technology to benefit learners of all ages. And like our alumni, you are dedicating your lives and careers to the pursuit of social justice, a TC tradition that literally goes back to our founder, Grace Hoadley Dodge. It was her vision to establish a college that would prepare teachers to work with immigrant students and their families who had recently fled poverty, war, and prejudice, and were still encountering bias and penury. It was also Grace Dodge's brilliance to recognize the need for a new kind of educator, one with the skills, cultural understanding, and self-awareness to understand and relate to immigrants' educational, health, and psychological needs. Thanks to Grace Dodge, Teachers College quickly became a force for increasing educational opportunity and upward mobility in New York City and soon throughout the nation and the world. TC's commitment to social justice that began with Grace Dodge has grown ever since through the work of so many other TC faculty and alumni, from John Dewey and Maxine Green to Edmund Gordon, and right down to the faculty and graduates assembled here today. But now our work in social justice takes on renewed urgency. For all the progress and landmark achievements we've made, America in 2016 is still confronted by the stubborn persistence of racism and growing inequities in education, health, and economic opportunity. The current manifestations of intolerance are seen in so many distressing events and phenomena. The contamination of drinking water in Flint, Michigan, the mass incarceration of young Black men, the widening disparities in high school graduation rates, income, health, and life expectancy, the mounting death toll of unarmed people of color at the hands of police in various cities, and of course, the continued repercussions of racial, religious, gender, and gender identity prejudice that are evident in political dialogue. And who among us can ignore tragic global consequences of intolerance, violent conflict, and the worst refugee crisis since the end of World War II? Graduates, we're living in perilous times, and yet I've been inspired by the many ways you and our faculty have risen to the challenges of these times. First, you've helped the college become a more effective agent of social justice, working with the Student Senate or Students for Quality Education. You've called on TC to facilitate more robust discussions of race, gender, and class. You've advanced the Civic Participation Project's mission of making available new knowledge in the service of greater forms of inclusion for those who've been marginalized, oppressed, or excluded. And through your participation in the Racial Literacy Roundtable series, you've helped to raise awareness of the need to recognize and counter the biases of race, class, and privilege to which none of us is completely immune. The second way you've advanced social justice at TC has been through your contributions to our teaching and research enterprise. All great institutions of higher learning do research. What sets Teachers College apart is what also sets you apart. You've been co-investigators and co-authors and authors on groundbreaking research aimed directly at addressing the world's most challenging problems, particularly those that fall hardest on marginalized, vulnerable, and disadvantaged populations. You've contributed to faculty research on so many issues, problems, and phenomena. They include learning agility, resilience, the effect of poverty on brain development, the link between conditions such as asthma, poor vision, teen pregnancy, school violence, and academic performance, the adaptation of interpersonal therapy to help populations afflicted by war, refugee crises, pandemics, or natural disasters, and powerful research that can show the way to public policies that promote positive outcomes in education and health. The third way you've advanced social justice has been in your individual research. Take Lauren Kelly, who is receiving her doctorate in English education. Lauren didn't originally plan on becoming a leading scholar in the field of hip-hop pedagogy. As a public school English teacher, she just knew that her students found hip-hop relevant and that it helped them connect to her lessons. While working on a proposal to teach an entire course centered on hip-hop, Lauren discovered that hip-hop had emerged as a distinct field of critical study, and that the most innovative work was being done here at Teachers College. Since coming to TC, Lauren has flourished in the company of an entire community of people working on hip-hop pedagogy, not only here, but across the United States and around the world. She leads an annual hip-hop summit at TC for high school students in the tri-state area. She also wrote a final paper that, encouraged by Professor Yolanda Sealy Ruiz, she submitted for journal publication. Since it appeared in 2013, teachers and high school students from as far away as New Zealand have written to Lauren for guidance on hip-hop teaching. This fall, Lauren will begin a 2-year research fellowship at the Boston University School of Education, where she will examine the impact of school curricula on the development of critical consciousness among adolescents. Ultimately, she plans to join the graduate school faculty ranks and prepare teachers of English education. While noting that hip-hop is deeply embedded in our popular culture and vocabulary, she's also mindful that so many listeners of hip-hop are teens who may not be engaging in the social realities it portrays. She sees opportunities for important discussion, disagreement, and ultimately understanding. Lauren, we're also fortunate to have a scholar educator of your caliber determined to shape education's future. We know you will accomplish great things. We also expect great things from Xing Guo, who is receiving her doctorate in kinesiology. Xing is helping to make important medical evaluations more widely available and affordable for children with neurologically based movement disorders. Xing's mentors, TC Professor Andrew Gordon and Columbia University neurobiologist Kathleen Friel, have dramatically improved the outlook for many children with cerebral palsy through 2 sophisticated intensive hand therapies. Recent studies suggest that these intensive therapies may work best for children whose brain-hand connections are organized in certain patterns. However, identifying these patterns currently requires extensive brain scans that often aren't available in community medical centers or clinics. Enter Xing, who studied physical therapy and conducted motor function research as an undergraduate in Taiwan. In preliminary studies, she's gathered evidence that suggests that assessments of some very simple hand movements may be used in place of expensive brain scans. These assessments may prove to be just as effective in predicting the outcomes of certain intensive treatments, which would represent a major breakthrough in the delivery of quality health care to children with neurologically based movement disorders. This fall, Xing will begin a research position at the University of Calgary, where she'll be studying the combined impact of behavioral interventions and brain stimulation. We eagerly await more breakthroughs that will bring healing and hope to so many children and their families. Graduates, we eagerly await breakthroughs from the important work that all of you are doing in pursuit of social justice. All of you will have a hand in changing the trajectories of the lives you touch for the better, and they will change you. Why? Because your quest for social justice is more than a resolve to confront what's wrong in our society and make it right. It's also a summons for you to continue applying your exquisitely trained minds to deepening your understanding of all the lives you touch, their cultures, their experiences, their realities, so you can work with them to achieve a brighter future. The challenges confronting our society remain as daunting as ever, but my faculty colleagues and I are optimistic about the future because we've taken the full measure of your talents, integrity, and fitness to become leading thinkers, educators, advocates, professionals, and scholars. We're confident that individually and collectively, you will make the greatest possible difference in the world. This is your time. Keep bright the chain of social justice that started for all of us at TC's founding. Congratulations. We've now reached the moment in this ceremony when we honor an extraordinary individual whose life's work has advanced the cause of education while upholding TC's core mission to foster excellence and equity in the fields we serve. This year, we honor 4 preeminent scholars and practitioners: Thomas Frieden, Chris Gutierrez, Susan Fiske, and Sandra Jackson Dumont. I'm pleased to welcome TC Professor George Gushue, joined by Provost Thomas James, to introduce Susan Fiske. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'd like to invite the recipient of the TC Medal for Distinguished Service, Susan Fiske, to join Provost James and me at the podium. Susan T. Fiske, in introducing the first edition of your seminal text, Social Cognition, the psychologist Philip Zimbardo singled you out for extending the boundaries of traditional psychology into realms vital to contributing to solutions for real-world problems. Indeed, you have transformed both academic and public discourse on prejudice, stereotyping, discrimination, and other aspects of human judgment and perception. You have redefined the vocabulary of social psychology by introducing concepts such as ambivalent sexism, cognitive miser, stereotype content model, and power as control theory. Recently, you have characterized the intersection of social perception and affect as envy up and scorn down. These contributions have enlarged society's understanding of the many forces at play in biases such as sexism, demonstrating, for example, how so-called benevolent sexism, the idealizing and protection of women, can be just as damaging as its more hostile and explicit counterpart. You have revealed that the same cognitive shortcuts that help people to economize energy in the face of potential information overload can also amplify prejudice. Your stereotype content model has focused attention on the interplay of perceptions about a given social group status in terms of power and competition for resources, and whether that group is seen as benevolent or threatening. You have also suggested how these same stereotype content-based prejudices might be interrupted. Fittingly, you were the first social psychologist to testify before the United States Supreme Court in a gender discrimination case. More recently, you have examined the neuropsychological systems involved in the formation of impressions, stereotyping, and hostility between different groups. And social cognition remains the undisputed Bible of the field for students around the world. Even your title at Princeton, Eugene Higgins Professor of Psychology and Public Affairs, underscores your impact as one of the preeminent psychologists of this or any era.
Susan T. Fiske, for creating a better understanding of human frailties and promoting more positive attitudes and relationships, for nurturing generations of researchers at the Princeton laboratory that bears your name, and for redefining and reinvigorating social psychology itself. We proudly present you with the Teachers College Medal for Distinguished Service.
Well, I'm deeply, deeply honored And it's particularly nice that I get to wear my academic robe, and I think the graduates are discovering the advantages of an academic robe. You could be wearing your pajamas underneath it, right? Or the most fancy dress it could be. And I actually kind of like the concept of an academic robe because it's very equalizing. You know, it's about your head, not about anything below your neck, because that's all covered up. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe we should wear them more often. They, by the way, if you invested in yours, they make good bathrobes. So congratulations on wearing an academic robe and soon on being hooded. I like the terminology that the doctoral degree is the supreme degree, and it recognizes your expertise that you have developed since entering, whatever your specialty area may be in arts and humanities, biobehavioral sciences, international and transcultural studies, organization and leadership, or a dozen others. Welcome to the Society of Scholars and Practitioners. It's a big accomplishment. So such success is wonderful, and I'm sure that you will be celebrating it this afternoon. But I'm here to tell you a story about failure and obstacles, which are also real. I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but I want to give you advice, because that's what I'm supposed to do as a graduation speaker, I think. How you metabolize failure shows your grit and resilience. Anybody can deal with success, that's easy, but all of us face obstacles, and that's the key, what you do with those obstacles. So the story I'm going to tell you is about a hardworking young woman who got her PhD at a time when there were few women role models in her department and only one ethnic minority. But she worked with an inspiring female role model and was very motivated to put her expertise to work when she finished. Her first job was not in her favorite location. She didn't have a lot of local friends, but there were generous terms conducive to get her work done. She worked hard, played by the rules, did her teaching, her research, her university service, and a book. She did some public service too, and developed a budding national reputation. At a pre-tenure evaluation several years later, she was fired. She was given a special terminal promotion, whatever that is. Basically, the message was, you can have a couple years, but please leave as soon as possible. She was blindsided and shocked and unprepared for this. What do I do now? No plans to move, but I guess now there were. Bad for the relationship. A professional crisis, humiliating locally, embarrassing nationally. What do you do when your colleagues find out? Do you give up? Do you change careers? What do you do? Well, it was a turning point, personally. She didn't want to do anything else. She wasn't trained to do anything else. She had a passion for the field and its impact. So what next? Metabolizing failure required getting back on the horse. It required going to national meetings with people who might be talking about you behind your back. It was the biggest transformation in my career, but it renewed my commitment, and it made me realize that success requires both competence and warmth. People have to both respect and like you. So I engaged in revenge productivity. That's the bottom line, you have to produce things. But also it reminded me to pay attention to professional relationships and not be naive, not to neglect the politics of professional life. People have to want to live with you. If they're going to give you tenure, they're making a commitment to live with you for the rest of your professional life. But it also reminded me that service, while important, is not portable. We all want to give back. That's why you guys are at TC. But women and minorities get over-invited to do service. And so don't be a chump. Do what you want to do and what you can do well, but don't do absolutely everything that is asked of you if you're being asked to do more than other people. But the bottom line is to do what you love. There's a lot of perseverance required in getting a doctorate degree, And you do it because there's no alternative, because this is really, really what you wanted to do. And you tolerated the first year irritants. People often choose careers whose entry-level annoyances they can tolerate, because then you can go on to do what you really want to do. And at the end of the day, it's rewarding. So the moral of my story is that metabolizing failure, what you do with the inevitable obstacles and failures that you hit, determines the success of your career and your personal life as well. Stuff happens. So on this wonderful day, I'm reminding you that there will be setbacks, and anyone can deal with smooth sailing. Most people can handle success pretty well, but it's how you handle failure that shows your real grit. Psychologist Carol Dweck reminded people that there are different mindsets for dealing with academia, among other things. And interestingly, it's people's parents' belief about what failure means that affects them as children, how they deal with failure. So some parents believe that failure is a confirmation of inadequacy. Other parents believe it's an opportunity for growth. So how you handle failure depends on this kind of mindset that you bring to these obstacles that are inevitable. And my own advice, as I've implied, is that there are two dimensions to a career. One is competence and agency and ability, of course, but also warmth and friendliness and trustworthiness, showing your colleagues that you have worthy intentions. And because I study stereotyping, I have to say that there are different kinds of obstacles that different kinds of people are likely to face. Let me tell you about two traps briefly. One trap is being seen as competent but cold. This tends to target career women, Asians, Jews, enterprising outsiders in any given society. So these folks have to show their cooperative intent. The second kind of stereotype trap is being seen as warm but incompetent. So traditional female roles are often seen this way. Older people and people with disabilities often face this kind of stereotype. So these folks have to work on earning respect for their status and competence. Okay, so enough of all this bad news. Educators are among the most admired occupations in our country, both respected and liked. And this is really important, and you should keep that, hold that, because nobody else is as respected and liked. Go forth and be successful. Be bold. But when stuff happens, know the traps. Use the setbacks as challenges, opportunities for growth, and cherish your work. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Judy Lewis and Andrea Maas, candidates in the Music and Music Education Program Department of Arts and Humanities.
You've got to be taught to hate and fear. You've got to be taught from year to year. It's got to be drummed in your dear little ear. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught to be afraid of people whose eyes are oddly made, of people whose skin is a different shade. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught before it's too late, before you are 6 or 7 or 8, to hate all the people your relatives hate. things you say, children will listen. Careful the things you do, children will see and learn. Children may not obey, but children will listen. Children will look to you for which way to turn, to learn what to be. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. Wish you make, wishes are children. Careful the path they take, wishes come true, not free. Careful the spell you cast, not just on children. Sometimes the spell may last past what you can see and turn against you. Careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. Children will listen.
And now, the hooding of our graduates by Provost Thomas James. Professor Lori Costadero for the Department of Arts and Humanities.
Welcome, graduates, families and friends, trustees, honored guests, and colleagues to this glorious day where we celebrate the journey taken and reflect on what has been carefully taught and learned. I humbly represent the Department of Arts and Humanities, among the most diverse departments of Teachers College. We represent fields of study including the histories and philosophies of education, the cultures and complexities of language and learning language, the social and global contexts of meaning making, and the expression of that meaning in music and in the visual arts. Teachers College has provided resources to help you flourish. Rabindranath Tagore, the Bengali Nobel poet, wrote, "An institution should not only train up one's limbs and mind to be ready for all emergencies, but to be attuned to the response between life and world." The first important lesson in such a place would be that of improvisation, the ready-made having been banished to give constant occasion to explore one's capacity through surprise achievements. This implies a lesson not in simple life, but in a creative life. Indeed, we, the faculty, have delighted in sharing your journey and are happy to call you colleagues. You have accomplished an enormous undertaking, a challenge that was in no way simple. You are now the inheritors of a legacy of deep thinkers and engaged doers, others whose attunement to life in the world has led to the banishing of the ready-made in favor of the creative. Tagore also wrote of your future. "I asked of destiny, tell me who with relentless hand pushes me on. Destiny told me to look behind. I turned and saw my own self behind, pushing forward the self in front. We look forward to the continuing results of your self-propelled journey, and today celebrate this incredible milestone. And with those wishes, let us begin the hooding of the artful, the musical, and the philosophic. Let us honor the historical, the linguistic, and the socially engaged, all these wonderful attributes that today you embody, tonight you celebrate, and tomorrow you enact. Carrie McKibben. Adele Bruni Ashley. Sarah Kreider. Rebecca Fabricant. Andrea Davis. Heather van Uxem Lewis. Christopher Zublianis. Young Kang. Christina Romeo. Marcel Mentor. Jennifer Johnson. Lauren Lee Kelly. Sarah Perricone. Karen Lebonte. Alicia Lehrman. Gina Rapich. Marta Cabral. Evelyn DeGraff. Warren Churchill. Eun-Hae Yoon. Barbara Chung. Cynthia Elise Toby. Brian Verdi. Shulamit Hoffman. Joel Jebb. Joseph Bonk. Joe Gertsen Fredrickson. John Fantuzzo. Gabriel Thoreau. Judy Lewis. And Andrea Moss.
Department Chair Carol Ewing Garber for the Department of Biobehavioral Services.
On behalf of the faculty and staff of the Department of Biobehavioral Sciences, let me extend my heartfelt congratulations to graduates and families on this incredible accomplishment. Our students are brilliant, bold, and spirited. The Department of Biobehavioral Sciences offers programs in communication sciences and disorders, physical education, movement sciences and kinesiology, and neurosciences. Our research focuses on the application of the biological, physiological, behavioral, cognitive, and sociocultural sciences that underlie human communication, movement, and function. And we apply these areas to clinical, educational, and community settings. The scientific knowledge obtained from research in these specialties is applied to enhance the educational, functional, and communicative capacities and capabilities and health of disabled and non-disabled people of all ages and health status. Our doctoral graduates will go on to assume challenging research, academic, and professional roles in educational, clinical, governmental, and non-governmental settings. Now, I'm proud to introduce to you our 2016 doctoral graduates from the Department of Biobehavioral Sciences. Aviva Wolf. Noberto Quiles. Xing Jing Guo. Elizabeth Coker. Gemma Moya Gale. Miriam Baigori. Guanan Mandy Xian. Philip Avery III.
Department Chair Marie Maville for the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology.
Good afternoon. As you've heard today, our students are a very important part of who we are and what we do at Teachers College. The faculty in the Department of Counseling and Clinical Psychology cherish the many roles we take on when we work with our students for the many years they're here. We serve as teachers, supervisors, research advisors, mentors, and now, most happily, colleagues and peers. The graduates, my faculty colleagues, and I are pleased to introduce to you today our professional psychologists who all have been trained to be knowledgeable and innovative researchers, culturally competent practitioners, and strong community leaders and advocates. And now, please share our pride and joy as we introduce to you our graduates. Jessica Esposito. Charles Levi Burton. Carissa Chambers. Min Cheng. Wan Chen Wang. Joyen Gio. Arika Dominich. Emily Lyman. Rachel Kurjan Bott. All right. Yakov Burton. Congratulations, graduates.
Department Chair Nancy Lusko for the Department of Curriculum and Teaching.
So often we hear reports of the inadequacy of teachers, of immigrant families, and of gender parity in education in developing regions. There are additional stories, and the 2016 graduates of the Department of Curriculum and Teaching have worked to complicate the stories we hear about schools and families, teaching and learning. For example, Su Yang Chu's dissertation focused on teachers working together to develop interdisciplinary curriculum. The elementary school teachers he studied worked together constantly, and their connections overran standard categories such as authentic or contrived collaborative tasks. Megan Lawless also studied teacher learning, but in the context of university supervisors of beginning teachers. She examined how university-based teacher education programs are preparing and supporting supervisors' ongoing development. Vasiliki Stavropoulos examined how the relationships between student teachers and mentor teachers influence beginning teachers' thinking and attitudes. Yasmin Morales Alexander studied Mexican immigrant mothers in a New York City neighborhood in order to understand their conceptions of child development and their relationships with pre-kindergarten programs. Shanila Koja Mulji's dissertation pieced together the history of girls and women's education in Pakistan in order to understand the pressures and possible limitations of current international education development efforts that focus on the girl. These are all timely topics: teacher learning, university supervision of beginning teachers and mentor teachers, immigrant families' perspectives on child development, and the history and context of girls and women's education in Pakistan. Please join me in recognizing these graduates and their contributions to critically complicating our ideas of teaching, learning, and schooling. Megan Lawless. Shanila Koja Mulji. Vasiliki Stavropoulos. Yasmin Morales Alexander.
Department Chair Jeffrey Hammack for the Department of Education, Policy, and Social Analysis.
If things like curriculum and good teaching are the meat and potatoes of schooling, then education policy can be likened to the supply line that determines whether ingredients arrive safely, are fairly allocated, and of high quality. The faculty and programs of the Department of Education Policy and Social Analysis, EPSA, are focused on how government, markets, and societal conditions shape schooling and the broader enterprise of creating a citizenry that's informed about the challenges and opportunities it confronts, able to critically analyze its needs and interests, and prepared to work together to make a better world. EPSO offers 4 degree programs in economics and education, politics and education, sociology and education, and an interdisciplinary degree in education policy. Let's bring them on. Ji-Hai Kim. Vikash Reddy. Jean Lee. Ha Jen Yao. Na Feng. Kathleen Hayes. Veronica Minaya Lazarte. Robert Shand. Congratulations, doctors.
Department Chair Stephen Peverly for the Department of Health and Behavior Studies.
Good afternoon. The Department of Health and Behavior Studies consists of clusters of programs in health, applied educational psychology, and special education. Our collective mission is to improve the health, learning, and social well-being of children and adults in schools and other settings throughout their lifespan. On behalf of our department, I want to present to you the wonderfully talented men and women who have worked so hard to earn their doctorates and appear before you today. And before I begin, I want to thank all of you for all the support you have provided to help them attain their dreams. Alexandra De Sorbo. Stephen Orozco. I'll say it. Stephen Orozco. Julio Rodriguez. Kenneth Mussman. Lisa Bernale Fusco. Ajaya Williams. Lauren Meltzer. Asrat Amne. EU Sao. Crystal Lowe. Erika Byers. Amanda Phillip. Lamise Bowiden. Jennifer Lee. Jennifer Weaver. Kiva Haranchuk. Shirley Charles. Shari Donahue. Corinne Bongiorno. Julia Silvestri. Maria Hartman. Constance Deckes. Lindsay Plunkett. Carlene Zuckerman. Dusty Hackler. Lorraine Chewy. Sarah Mendez. Martha Bolton. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Department Chair Matthew Johnson for the Department of Human Development.
It is my honor to represent the Department of Human Development here today. The department has doctoral programs in developmental psychology, cognitive studies and education, and in measurement and evaluation. Research by the graduates I present to you today has examined the cognitive mechanisms behind how individuals learn, methods for measuring what individuals have learned, and the external factors that can affect an individual's development. And further, using the knowledge gained from this research to develop and evaluate educational interventions. On behalf of the Department of Human Development, it is my pleasure to present the 2016 doctoral graduates from our department. Jungyeon Park. Maria Ofelia San Pedro. Jianzhao Zhang. Diego Luna. Nicole DeCrecchio. Chenmu Julia Zing. Wanchen Li. Rachel Labrec. Nicole Zilmer. Laura Hamburger. Julia Zavala. Leah Papa Thomas. Congratulations, Human Development graduates.
Department Chair Hervé Varenne for the Department of International and Transcultural Studies.
I'm very honored to represent the faculty of our Department of International and Transcultural Studies. In this most significant moment, we are proud to introduce our new colleagues, whom we can now finally address as Doctor. Together, we conduct research on education in all its forms and settings, in homes and government offices, in small towns and refugee camps, in the United States and around the world, to name but a few of the places where our graduates have worked. They have worked in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in Cambodia, in Detroit, and even in the financial district of New York City. Together, we seek to understand education through systematic comparison. And we work at finding ways to apply this knowledge where difficult issues must be faced and where the stakes are high. All of us probably agree with the philosopher Jacques Rancière that difference is not a problem, but an occasion to exercise our intelligence. I'm proud to present our graduates. Maria José Bermeo. I'm good. Daniel Suleilas. Diana Rodriguez Gomez. Arushi Terway. Darby Roberts. Amy Crumpton. Summer Farah. Denzil Street. Sunanda Samadar Corrado. Congratulations to all.
Department Chair O. Roger Anderson for the Department of Mathematics, Science, and Technology.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to represent the faculty of MST. We prepare graduates in the academic professions of mathematics, science, and technology, including communications, media, and learning technology design. May I please present our candidates? Tara Conley. Jessica Vialva. Sumi Kim. Louis Lahana. Jin Kuwata. Melanie Hibbert. Catherine Williams. Yevgeny Milman. Jacob Curler. Chow Chow. Kelly Feeney Flanagan. Ragda Daftadar Abdelhadi. So good to see you. Wonderful, wonderful. Sheila Burgess. Cindy? You want Cindy or Cynthia?
Cynthia Ferris.
Yeah, no. Cynthia Farrar. Good to see you. Jeremy Hyman. Congratulations, Pat. Patrick Ashby. Spiridon Varthus. Congratulations to our graduates, and I wish you all the best.
Department Chair Anna Newman for the Department of Organization and Leadership.
President Furhman and Provost James, colleagues, honored graduates, family, and friends. Teachers College is known for producing leaders. But what makes the graduates of the Department of Organization and Leadership distinctive? I have 3 responses: learning, disciplined inquiry, and research. The faculty and students in the department's 5 academic programs, adult learning and leadership, educational leadership, higher and post-secondary education, nurse executive, and social and organizational psychology, produce and apply research on cooperation and conflict resolution, the value of diversity within organizations, and how to support the learning and development of younger and older adults. Our influence reaches into a remarkable array of settings: K-12 schools, colleges and universities, hospitals and public health organizations, the military, humanitarian relief organizations, Fortune 500 companies, to name but a few. Organization and leadership doctoral graduates come to us having already demonstrated their capacity to be extraordinary leaders. Through doctoral study, they learn to harness their knowledge of leadership and merge it with disciplined inquiry to support others in their quest to become leaders and learners. It is my very great honor to present to you the doctoral graduates of TC's Department of Organization and Leadership. Nicholas Redding. Stacy Lynn Repke. Nyasha George. Michelle Amos. Welton Kwong. Alma Sanchez. Regina Boyd. Adam Mitchinson. Rebecca Stillwell. Linda Chen. Giselle Melendez. Eileen Engelke. Eileen Thomas. Amy Loeb. Don Albal. Robert Kerner. Kimberly Bonnet. Ramona Teresa Sharp. Mariana Vergara. Congratulations, everyone.
Please join us in celebrating the class of 2016. Please be seated. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TC alumna and trustee Edith Shih.
40 years ago, I set foot on American soil and came to Teachers College. From then on, my life was transformed. When I graduated from TC, I was ready to go and conquer the world. I'd like to let you know, now that I'm old enough to do so, in the days to come, your life might be dotted with challenges and hardship, ups and downs. And I'd like to share this piece of music that you're very familiar with. In particular, the prelude, which is less popular, that no matter how miserable and hopeless the circumstances are, hold on to your conviction and dreams, because behind the rain, storm, and thunder, the rainbow will emerge, beyond which your dreams will come true. Over the rainbow.
When the world was a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. And when the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. There the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Putman, President of the Teachers College Alumni Association.
Alumni. Let me say that again. Alumni. It is my distinct pleasure to formally welcome you to the Teachers College Alumni Association. As you stand here before this esteemed group of trustees, administrators, your faculty, family, and friends, and alongside your peers, we look on with great pride. Today, at this moment, you join our Alumni Association, a network of over 90,000 strong, comprising alumni from all 10 academic departments and all walks of life and career stages, who have made a significant impact in the world, and we have no doubt that you will carry forward this legacy too. Your fellow Teachers College alumni have truly made a global mark, shaping many fields of inquiry and practice. They have done so because of their intelligence, sensitivity, drive, knowledge, experience, and wisdom. They have also done so because of the people like the ones around you today, building solid support systems and a network of peer mentors. And many would argue that they have done so because of their Teachers College preparation. And we know that you too will follow in these footsteps and make your own mark in your respective fields. Just as you occasionally needed some support throughout your time at TC, we know you will need similar resources as you embark on your careers. I am here today to tell you how valuable your participation in your Alumni Association can be. We are colleagues and collaborators, supporters and challengers, mentors and mentees. And most important, we are your peers. What holds us all together is our alma mater, Teachers College. While everyone had a slightly different journey, I am certain that no one's path leading to this time and place was free of challenges. I am also certain that along the way you found inspiration, insight, and joy. And many of you have developed what will be lifelong friendships. I encourage you to stay connected with your classmates and fellow graduates as you move forward in your careers, and to tap into the deep pool of expertise and knowledge offered by the broader TC community. We hope to not only see you at future alumni events, but also feature you in future newsletters and give you awards. That's right. Please remember that you will always have a home and rich community at TC, which you can access physically and virtually. On behalf of your fellow alumni, we all wish you the best in your endeavors, and we hope to have the opportunity to join you along the way. Congratulations again, and welcome to the TC Alumni Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Highland.
On behalf of myself and co-chair Bill Rickert, we'd like to thank all the children who came today. It's remarkable. And we'd also like to thank our co-chair, Edith Shih, for standing up and singing one of the great songs of all time. But principally, we'd like to congratulate each of you on your extraordinary achievement. We thank your families and friends for joining with the faculty and staff of Teachers College to recognize you, our doctoral graduates of the class of 2016, doctors all. Please join us for light refreshments in Russell Courtyard at Teachers College. And friends and family, we ask you to remain seated until our newly appointed doctors have departed. Thank you.